What happens when the world's most powerful government suddenly runs out of money? It's not just about politicians in Washington fighting over numbers on a page. It's about your flights being delayed, your benefits being held up, and entire national parks being shut. And here's the shocking part. President Trump's team might actually want this shutdown to happen. I'll explain why in just a moment. Right now, the U.S. government is hours away from a shutdown. At midnight tonight, if Congress can't agree on a new spending bill, large parts of the government will grind to a halt for the first time in nearly 7 years. To put it in perspective, the last shutdown in 2018 to 2019 lasted 35 days and cost the U.S. economy an estimated $11 billion. That gives you a sense of how serious this could get, especially for ordinary Americans who rely on federal services every day. Here's the situation. Republicans control Congress, but in the Senate they need at least 60 votes to pass any bill. Democrats say they won't support the current proposal because it cuts healthcare programs, reduces Medicaid funding, and slashes budgets for the CDC and the National Institutes of Health. For example, some hospitals that rely on federal grants could see funding delayed, and public health programs may have to pause critical research. Instead, Democrats want to extend tax credits that make health insurance cheaper and block Trump's proposed cuts, arguing that healthcare should not be used as a bargaining chip. The House already passed a stopgap bill, but the Senate is where everything is stuck. And as the clock ticks closer to midnight, tensions are rising. Some lawmakers are accusing each other of political gamesmanship, while ordinary Americans are bracing for disruptions that could affect everything from airport security to national parks. Now, if you think it's crazy that one disagreement in Congress could put millions of people's services on hold, hit that like button. Because honestly, this shows just how fragile the system really is, and how much of our daily life depends on agreements most of us will never see. So what happens if they don't strike a deal? Essential services like border security, hospitals, air traffic control, and law enforcement will continue. Social security checks will still go out. But here's the twist I promised earlier. Trump's team isn't just willing to let this shutdown happen. They see it as an opportunity. Officials have already hinted they could use the shutdown to permanently cut non-essential federal workers, potentially reshaping government operations for years to come. Think about it. Agencies that millions of Americans rely on every day could operate with fewer staff, slower response times, and reduced services. This fight isn't just about dollars and cents. It could redefine the way the U.S. government functions. Vice President J.D. Vance has already admitted a shutdown is very likely. Republicans are arguing that Democrats will take the blame in the public eye, while Democrats insist that protecting healthcare programs is non-negotiable. Some political analysts warn that the blame game could backfire on both sides, leaving voters frustrated and unsure whom to trust. Meanwhile, ordinary citizens are already expressing anxiety online, sharing stories about how a shutdown could delay benefits or disrupt their daily lives. This wouldn't be the first time the U.S. government shut down. The longest one lasted 36 days back in 2018, costing the economy billions. But this time, the Trump administration's hardline stance could make the fallout even worse. Airports, hospitals, public services, and even national parks could feel the pinch almost immediately. So what do you think? Should Democrats hold their ground to protect healthcare, even if it risks a shutdown? Or should they compromise to keep the government open? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear which side you think should blink first in this high-stakes showdown.